Hello, good evening, and welcome to the fourth episode of Steve Cockrell's Unedited Run Chat. This is a bit of an improvised episode, unfortunately. So Matt has fallen ill, so we can't have the freeway debate in terms of the running shoes. However, Graham is still with us. He's probably the one who is fully fit. Unfortunately, I've got a bit of allergy as well, so if you do hear me cough, I do apologise. But yeah, Graham was with us. How you doing, Graham? You okay?
Oh, Steve, yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, thanks. I've not got any colds or anything. Bit of hay fever this week. It's been very strange. The weather gone from sort of tropical to monsoon season, which I've actually realised now I much prefer running in the rain and the cold. I'm definitely a winter runner.
Yeah, I think I don't know what kind of runner I am. I mean, like I say, I don't mind the heat at all. I love running in the heat and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, if you want a performance, then you don't really want it too hot, do you?
No, that's right. No. We had some people struggling in the St Albans half marathon last weekend in absolute blistering temperatures. So yeah, much nicer this weekend.
Absolutely. But yeah, talking about the training. How's it gone for you this week?
Oh, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. I did a couple of 5Ks, sort of back-to-back tempos yesterday. Now that was all right. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, had a bit of a kind of an abort on Tuesday. Again, it was pretty hot, even though I went out at, I don't know, 7:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
Still pretty warm at that time of day, isn't it? And it does affect your body. So yeah, I cut it short because when you're onto a loser. But yeah, generally not too bad. I've got my first race next week.
Nice.
First proper race for, what's it now, 14 months or something.
Nice. Which one's that?
It's the Battersea Park 10K.
Battersea Park. Oh, is that the part of the run through series?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nice. I think I'm looking at potentially because run through do the Lee Valley ones as well, don't they?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm potentially looking at either a 10K or one of the 10 milers. I'll see what's what. Yeah. But I'm glad the training's gone all right. I think, obviously a bit up and down with the weather, but I started the week okay. And then like I said, it fell off a cliff dramatically when I got my son's cold. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I really ran well. I was like, it was only easy runs. I'd done 2 on the treadmill to control the pace, and then 1 was just run how I feel, and all went really well. And then I think I got back from the run on Wednesday and I knew something wasn't right, and I just thought, here we go. And then woke up the next morning and it was that was it for me for the week, unfortunately.
Definitely a cold though, not COVID.
No, I've had the test. It was I think it got that bad. It was just like, I better go. And it was negative. It's horrible getting the test. It's a horrible test. They stick things down the back of your throat, and sorry, they don't. We do.
You have to.
But,
It makes it even worse, doesn't it, when you have to do it yourself?
You have to do it, and then it's just like, it's not great. But you know what? It's all been worth it though. I mean, I think the whole testing thing has been brilliant, and the whole vaccination process as well, I think, has been great as well. So I've only been single jabbed. Is it just single jab for you, or
double jabbed as of Thursday? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I think I was due in a month's time, but obviously they're bringing them all forward as much as they can. So that's pretty good. I haven't actually taken a test yet, so I don't know. I've never had the symptoms, but it gives me some kind of confidence that I can go turn up at these races and be a bit more bit safer.
No, absolutely, and I think I'm hoping this clears for my interview with Emma on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, got the interview. So my first takeover episode, if you like. So it'll be interviewing GB athlete Emma Steptoe. Really looking forward to that. Slightly nervous, I'll be honest. Someone of Emma's stature. But
she's nervous or you're nervous?
I'll be honest. I think it'll be both. I'm sure she's done a few professional interviews before, but to be honest with you, this will be an amateur one, so she'll probably be nervous as well. So,
and I'm sure you'll have a great time. She's a top athlete and great person. So that'll be a great interview.
No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. So if you guys have any questions, obviously Graham as well yourself. So I know Matt's sent me a few already. So just fire them at me, and then we'll get Emma to answer as many questions as possible. So really looking forward to that.
I know she's a big cook, so you might want to get some recipes off her while you're talking.
Oh mate, I think anything to do with food now. I'm well up for that.
Very in chocolate cake, I think, is one of her specialties. So
100%. Just don't mention that in front of my daughter. She'll just have a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I think one of the things I'm going to be bringing up is obviously our topic for debate today, which is going to be the running shoes, saga. So I am going to ask her. So I'm not sure how in depth it's going to go, but I am going to ask the question. She might be a fan. We'll find out. But I think with the running shoes, I think I'm just going to say it straight off. I'm on the fence. There's so much to look into, pro and con. I think you can look at one thing and just say, right, is a lot of people being, are we being old farts here and just actually saying, well, hang on, let's not move with the times, let's just get pure running and stuff like that. But actually, is this just innovation? Is it something to really benefit the runners, where actually, if they're not drug enhancing, are they actually doing it through another means? But so is this cheating? Is it not? What are your initial thoughts, Graham? Because I know this is something we've been wanting to bring up for a long time.
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of on the fence as well. Or at least I've got different views about different aspects of it. So certainly when it all kicked off, the original Nike. What was it called before the Vaporfly? I can't even remember now. It's like quite a long time ago now. But.
Yeah, it does seem a long time ago. But yeah, there was it was Nike that was really the one that started launching it. The shoe that really sticks out is the Vaporfly. But
yeah. So originally I was pretty much dead set against it. It just seemed like they had an awful lot of influence in the sport. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. And it felt like too big a game changer. And there's different arguments as well. If it's not actually propelling you, but it's just sort of giving you a softer land for a lighter shoe, then I think that's more acceptable. Well, obviously not. What we're not talking about here is springs on people's feet. So there is obviously a limit to what the technology can do. But I just felt that it was going to create an uneven playing field.
Something that Matt brought up with me. I think it was in one of the earlier episodes. We joked about him wearing his shoes for the Boston Marathon, because we joked he was going to do like a 2:20 odd or something like that because he's got his shoes on. But no, I think what Matt initially said was actually, it's a lot better for your legs. It felt a lot better for your legs. So it's really, it really softened the blow, if you like. So you put your feet down, you're slamming your feet down. You know what happens over 26.2 miles. Your legs are going to get absolutely knackered. But his initial impression is that actually when you take them on a run, it's so much easier on your feet. So, from that perspective, he seems like it's probably more a cushioning thing. He doesn't doubt that there's some sort of performance in there. He doesn't doubt that, but he's not sure, and he's probably not raced hard enough in them to actually say, right, actually, is it a performance benefit or is it just a comfort for us? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think there's, and that's why I say that, well, my opinion has different aspects to it, because I actually I have got carbon shoes, as you can see, I've got
I love your background. I love your background, by the way.
At least 2 pairs. Oddly enough, I've never, to my knowledge anyway, I might be wrong here, but I don't think I've ever raced in carbon yet, apart from, Fly 5K. But I have trained in them a lot, and I totally agree. They are, whichever ones that you wear. I don't think it's necessarily Vaporfly or Adidas or whichever. They just feel so much more comfortable, and I know it's different for different people. A lot of people, I've got quite narrow feet, and people have said that Vaporflies, they're not very good for you. They're very narrow, but for me, they're one of the comfiest shoes I've ever worn. And oddly enough, so I don't wear them, or haven't worn them to race, but I do wear them for recovery runs, just because, after a hard session, my calves are a bit screwed, and they're just really soft to run on. So, from that point of view, I think it's fantastic. I don't like the fact that they cost a lot more.
Oh, the price is insane. I mean, the stuff I'm going to bring up in a minute is around the Vaporfly, but I've looked at the price of them, and in particular the shoe that I looked at, it was 210 quid. I'm like, in my head, how can you justify that? That's just me being me. I mean, look, for a professional athlete, that's not really going to affect anyone, because they'll get that sponsors and they'll just get that given to them, if I'm honest. But for the usual club runner, if you like, I mean, 210 quid, I couldn't afford that. 210 quid would pay a hell of a lot just to generally run the plate, run my house, I mean, 210 quid, that would,
a week's groceries at least.
Well, flipping out, where do you shop? But no, I mean, in all seriousness, you got a couple of weeks shop there, you got bills and stuff like that, but 210 quid, I mean, look, it's for me, it's ridiculous. But look, I mean, taking the price out of it, I think
well I'll just say that I think prices will come down. I think particularly as more and more people do start to use them to train, because I think at the moment a lot of people, they're precious, they're just so precious that they'll only sort of get them out for a race day. I'm lucky because I'm not commuting into London at the moment, so I've got a train fare to use, so I spend it on shoes.
Oh, nice. Yes. So I mean, the ones that you got, so which ones do you own?
So I've got I'll show you. So, well, I've taken a photo of them, but I've got Vaporfly, so you can see what happens to a Vaporfly if you're training them.
Oh, okay.
So that's
how quick did that happen?
That's probably about 200 miles, something like that. So it's had a fair pounding over winter.
Yeah.
Could probably maybe more than that, actually. Yeah. The other side's fine, actually. So it's probably just I'm a very poor runner that runs on the side effort.
I mean, I'm quite a neutral runner, so I should be all right. But no, I mean, the shoes that I'm running in at the moment are just like they're a pair of Caramores. I mean, I don't even know the model. I cheap pair of shoes. I just wanted to run and train in them. They're definitely not my best shoe, but I bought a pair of Asics, 40 quid, and I remember doing the Edinburgh Marathon in them, and I ran 2:47. They were the best shoes I ever had. Fantastic. It's the way it goes sometimes. I mean, look, you could buy a cheap pair of shoes and they're absolutely crap, but sometimes more expensive is the way to go. I'm not going to deny that, but actually sometimes you try your luck and you get some decent pairs for cheap prices, but no, I mean in terms, no, I was just gonna say around like how you said about the wear and stuff like that, the heels and the soles and the actual cushioning, it looks so thick on the shoe, doesn't it? So it just makes me think, how does it wear so quick?
It does, yeah. I mean, these are the shoes that I always used to wear at races.
So
this is the got to feel like a shoe salesman here.
They're different brands. They're different brands, mate. You're not.
They're all different
anyone,
brands.
so.
Yeah. So I've got so this is the Adidas Adizero.
Yep.
4 actually. So and it just, I look at it now and it looks tiny. It looks so flat because I've just got used to these crazy things. Or these things. So this is basically the carbon equivalent of
the Adizero. Okay.
I know it's flickering a bit because of my.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
My background, but
no,
yeah, you can see the difference in the sole width. But these, and to be honest, I love racing in these, or always did, because they're so flat. You know, obviously traditional flat shoes. People have won marathon world records in these back in the, when was it? Sort of early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, back in the day, you know.
Back in the day. And so, you know, when carbon first came out, I thought, well, I'm perfectly happy with these. I'll just stick with these, you know. And now, but I've been wearing these little puppies for so long now that going back in these shoes, I wore these on the track. I wore these on the track the other day, and it feels really strange. You just feel really flat-footed.
Yeah. So are they going to be made redundant then? Because I think what I would do, I mean, just I'm hoping I'm not changing the plans here, but how about racing carbon at Battersea?
Well, yeah, I probably will actually.
Yeah.
I probably will, to be honest. I don't think I'll be wearing these, but that's not to say, and you know, like I said before, there's not necessarily any performance advantage. But in fact, if there is, I'll be disappointed going back to old shoes, because you sort of reset your benchmarks, don't you?
Of course you do. Of course you do. And I think that's actually what I wanted to share, because obviously resetting benchmarks is obviously perhaps been the key to why we're having this debate, because I think the first real benchmark that fell, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, I mean, I will bring it up in a second, but the benchmark that really first fell was probably the Great North Run. Do you remember Bridget Kosgei running the fastest half marathon? I mean, obviously it's not a world record because of the nature of the course, but it was 64:28 at the time, and she was 3 minutes clear of the rest of the field. And she was wearing the shoes that I'm going to be bringing up in a second. So basically, I've just brought up that there. It's unedited, so Graham, can you show me? Can you tell me if that's up?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's all right. So yeah, proof that is unedited. So basically, yeah. So you got them, the ones that you've shown. So the Zoom, the Zoom X Vaporflies. Look at the heel on them. I mean, it just begs belief at how different a shoe can look. I mean, to your original Adizeros, but they're the shoes that she wore in the actual Great North Run, and obviously she then moved on to Chicago, which was 5 weeks later, correct me if I'm wrong. But then she went and broke that marathon 2:14, which hadn't been touched. There was no kind of like inkling that anyone was going to get close to it. I mean, the only kind of inkling that anyone's going to get close to it was Kosgei in that half marathon. I know she done well in London the previous year, but I mean, that just kind of beggars belief. I mean, that's when we're saying resetting benchmarks and performance and stuff like that, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what is there.
And there's been so many records been smashed over the last couple of years. You know, there's some argument that a lot of people have been training hard because they haven't been racing because of the pandemic. But this you know started before that. So yeah, there's definitely an improved a performance enhancement. It's different for different people, and that's something that I guess not everybody appreciates. That some people depending on the fit of the shoe and the way that they run their gait, it gives them more or less performance advantage.
I can agree with that. I think the time will tell, because I think obviously this is only I've kind of picked this one out, if I'm honest with you. I mean, there's been several other other examples. I think the one that kind of hasn't been broken yet, and I think that actually this kind of why it causes some debate. I think the men's marathon hasn't been broken with these shoes yet, have they? It's the shoes that sorry, go on.
Yeah, not legally, no.
no, you know what I mean. But no, yeah. I mean, obviously Kipchoge done 158, but I'm not really kind of putting it on the shoe. I mean, look at the circumstances he had. He had everything set up for him. He had like everyone split in the air. He had the shortest possible, shortest possible route, of course it is. But he had the perfect route up and down and stuff like that. So look, I'm not just putting that on the shoes, but I think the men's marathon legally hasn't been broken yet, and I think this is why again it would cause a debate. Does that make sense?
If it was broken in these shoes, I mean, I think it's certainly high time it does get broken again, isn't it? With this new technology, so yeah, it's going to happen. Who was it? Somebody this week, I can't remember now. I've been terrible at watching athletics this week. It was somebody declared that they were definitely going to break 2 hours legally.
It weren't Kipchoge again, was it?
wasn't Kipchoge, no.
I think there's I think there's a load of people out there now. I mean, we're not just talking about Kipchoge and Bekele here, but there's quite a few young Ethiopians, young Kenyans. I mean, look, I've talked about this guy a lot, but I think in the future he's going to be a marathon runner, Joshua Cheptegei. There's going to be loads that are going to be chomping at the bit to break that 2 hour. Whoever breaks that first, wow, that is I mean, look, everyone's going to know that Kipchoge's done it first, but to do it legally will be the benchmark, wouldn't it?
Well, this guy that was saying he was going to break it, I think his PB's, I think he got a 2:02:49 or something, so he's confidently saying he's going to take 3 minutes off his time. So that's confident. That's a bit
he must have something helping him. Yeah.
Well,
that's
maybe he's getting some Vaporflies for Father's Day.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just looking at this. So I've actually kind of cut and pasted a little bit from this was from the Daily Mail at the time of the Chicago reporting of the world record. And if you look at the the top bit is all like waterproof and stuff like that. I don't think there's any kind of like too much of a enhancement there, but I think if you look at the sole and look at the heel, so the hidden carbon fiber plate stabilizes ankle joint and reduces load on the calves, leading to better running efficiency. So we half talked about that. So I think the point that Matt brought up when he said it's much more stabilizing and it has less impact on your joints and also the muscle. Look, I mean, I think that's a given. I think if it was just the carbon, then perhaps but then this heel bit for me, ZoomX foam absorbs energy when it hits the pavement, then returns a portion of it to the runner's stride. The foam is infused with nitrogen to provide improved responsiveness. Spring. Right. That's a poor man's version of a spring to me. I mean, if you look at the improved responsiveness, okay, fine. It's all well and good in absorbing energy and then so it doesn't hurt the joints, but when it's giving you that performance, which it clearly is, that's the bit that doesn't sit well on me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I don't know, do you think they should never have been allowed?
Oh, now
the big question.
that is the big question. For me, I mean, you're going down a whole route of, I mean, you've got, the specific example that hit to me was the swimsuits. They acted on that very quickly. So that, I mean, it's been too long now. I don't think we can go back now. That's the issue.
Do you know what, when I realized that was when they first started selling these to the masses. When it's all about a debate in the athletic kind of elite world, then that's one thing. But as soon as you can buy them in your local running shop, then that's the horse's bolted, isn't it? And,
yeah, I mean, talking about selling things in your local running shop. Let me just move on to the next one. This bad boy. This bad boy here. So, I mean, you're the one who alerted me to this one. Go on.
What a monster.
That is a monster. Look at the sole on that. But the staggering bit for me is that legal?
No, it's not.
And it's being sold.
And that is this is what I can't get my head around. Well, I can. It's a fantastic marketing ploy by Adidas. It's a so if you're not aware, the legal limit World Athletics is a 40 mil stack. So the height of that ugly white bit should be 40 mils.
That looks about 40 meters. I mean, yeah, but 40 mil. But yeah, I mean, so that's okay.
So this is 50 mil. So
it's 50, right? Okay.
It's not legal by World Athletics, and this is where the real kind of moral or ethical dilemma comes in, or is there a dilemma at all? Like, who really gives the monkeys what you wear in your local park 10K? But is Adidas just really setting completely the wrong example in releasing shoes that professional athletes can't legally wear? I mean,
that's not even a debate there, Graham. That I can't believe they have actually released this, because okay, yeah, I mean, no one's going to care about, well, actually people will care in park run when they're running like 14 minutes. You'll get people turn up there running 14 minutes or so, but no, in all seriousness, I think that people are going to have to start checking local races which are affiliated with UKA. Oh blimey, hang on, I've gone back there, and the appropriate governing body, let's put it that way. They're going to have to start looking at local races to see if people are wearing these, because times that are going to start coming through, if they're wearing this shoe and if it's as good as they're claiming it to be, I mean, you're looking at a different level here, because the pros can't wear it.
Yeah, but this is what I'm not quite sure about yet, because British Athletics and UKA presumably operate under World Athletics WA
they have to,
guidance. So, and I think where this is really significant is that it's you might not get disqualified from your race. The athletes in the Olympics aren't allowed to wear earphones, but there's a lot of races that you can wear earphones in. Nobody's going to argue about that. But earphones aren't performance enhancing. Well, maybe they are. Some, I was listening to Metallica on my 5K yesterday, and I definitely went a bit faster because of that. But that's a whole other subject. But
Metallica, that's a anyway, sorry, go on.
That's what I was going to say is that so it does. It's going to affect people's performances, and whether it matters that it's legal or not. Where does it end? And that's my concern. You're going to get some people. Most people in the race aren't going to care what you wear. They'd look at these and they wouldn't even know what they were. They're actually quite heavy. Apparently 280 grams for a race shoe. That's pretty heavy, but I think they've got one hell of a spring on them. But the point is, if somebody wearing Vaporflies gets beaten to the post by somebody wearing those, they might feel a little bit kind of miffed because somebody's wearing something that's not strictly approved by by WA. It all filters through, and then what's Nike going to bring out? Are they going to bring out a 60 mil stack? No.
Oh geez, I mean, you just look at that, and I mean, one, it's a monstrosity, but secondly, it's just, I can't get my head around the moral. I mean, look, I can see what you're saying when it comes to no one's going to care about the local park run, or some other people aren't going to care in the local races. But actually, I think a lot of people will, and I think because a lot of the local races, I mean, unless you are a top elite athlete competing around on the European circuit or the world circuit, actually you are competing in local events, because that is technically their living. So they'll swoop up the prize money. And that is technically their living. So I think that actually people are going to care about it, and I think because it will be a game changer if these are seen all over the place. I mean, how long has it been out on the market? I'm not sure.
2 days. They came
okay.
out.
Oh, okay. So no, there's been no races.
No, they came out on Friday morning. So yeah, Adidas released a new version of this, a new you can't even see that, can you? But the big yellow thing behind me is now a big white thing. The Adidas Adizero Pro 2 with quite a few improvements. You can actually see the carbon rods underneath them now, which is quite funky. And the new Boston 10 training shoe as well, which has been completely revamped. And these, and actually, to be honest with you, I first heard about this Prime X probably about 3 months ago, and a lot of people just thought it was a wind up. They thought it was a joke. Even when the adverts were coming out a few days ago, I was wondering if it was still a joke. Why would Adidas release an illegal shoe? But then again, turn it on its head. Is it just a fantastic marketing ploy? We've just spent the last 10 minutes talking about Adidas.
You can't argue with that. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But they're not stupid.
No, they're not stupid. But then also, are they trying to force people's hands into trying to change the rules? Are they trying to force that? I mean, look, Nike and Adidas really have a strong grip when it comes to sponsorship. I mean, you look at the track athletics now; it's either full-on Nike or full-on Adidas kits, and they have such an influence in the sport. And I just think, are they actually trying to enforce a rule change? I mean, I don't know if I'll be going that. I don't know if they will go that far, but
I don't know. I mean, Adidas have got so much ground to catch up on Nike as well. From for at least a year. All the shoe companies have. So yeah.
No, absolutely. But I mean, look. If all else fails, Graham, I mean, look, you can wear a pair of Crocs. And look at that. I mean, so this guy here. So I mean, I saw it on a Facebook feed as well, but then you also brought it up to me as well, which we clearly look at the same Facebook stuff. But this guy here, so the guy in the middle, Benjamin Patchev, if I've got his name correct there.
That's right.
So he's ran a 5K and a half marathon. Have you got the times there by any chance?
Yeah. So to the minute, he ran 5,000 meters in to the second, sorry, in 14:47.
Yep.
That was a little while ago, and then just earlier this week, to the minute, he ran 1:06 in the Utah half marathon. Came fourth.
He came fourth, and
in
he's
a pair
in
of Crocs.
I mean, I look at that picture and I just think, well, one, is there any kind of is there any of them enhanced shoes in there? No. In all seriousness, you look at that picture. You see all the guys in their kits. They've got names on, so they're clearly elite runners. He's in his Crocs. He looks like he's just rolled out of bed. He does though. Look, I'm not saying the guy's running ability, but look, I mean, he's rolled out of bed and he's come with a pair of Crocs on. I bet everyone's looked at him and gone, "Are you having a laugh?" And he's just run them times. I mean, that's insane.
He's a handy runner, all right. I think he's 22 years old, something like that. And I saw a bit of the Utah half marathon footage, and he runs well. I mean, I think he's really trying to make a point. So he's wearing a grey vest and a grey pair of shorts with his grey Crocs, and came fourth in a pretty impressive field. So hats off to him. I'd love to know what he could do in a pair of normal racing shoes.
Pair of them Adidas's, yeah.
But maybe that's not the point. The point is that he's a fantastic runner, and he's proving that if you're a great runner, that's gonna shine through whatever. And I think you can understand why a lot of people that are racing in these new super shoes now do feel a bit offended that their performances have been undermined by the fact that everyone's talking about the shoes. Beth Potter's 5K unofficial world record. The there was a lot of talk about how fantastic it was, but there was also a lot of talk about the ASICS Metaspeed Sky.
Yeah, I was one of them. Look, Beth Potter's a fantastic runner. She's a great, brilliant triathlete. I'm not taking away that, but to run a unofficial world record at 5K, it's clearly performance enhancing, and it's something where, I mean, the more that we've talked about it, and I'm more along the lines of this is cheating in a way. I'm more along them lines, and like I said, I'm all for making things easier on the joints, the muscles. If the carbon plate does that, then fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's that heel, especially on the article that the cutting that I put on the screen a minute ago with the Chicago bit, when they talked about the heel and it's responsiveness. For me, I'm more along the lines of it's really performance enhancing and cheating.
Yeah, but I guess the question is who is it cheating? Because if it's legal, obviously, strictly speaking, it's not cheating.
Well, and this is the point now, isn't it? I mean, it's gone beyond a point now where it can turn back. I don't think you can turn it back now. I think there needs to be a limit now. I mean, I think perhaps this is where the limit needs to be. Yeah.
I mean, if set this limit at 40 mil, and let's hope they keep at that.
Yeah.
Potentially who knows, there'll be other ways of enhancing chute technology without raising the stack height. I've no doubt. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And there needs to be a limit. And I think we both agree that it's too late to do anything now. Well, I guess it's never too late. They could change the rules. We're going to carry on using up our Vaporflies until they're worn out. Well, mine's already gone, but but I think it is. I think it is too late. I think what I think is a real shame is just the fact that we can't compare times that we're getting now to previous times, and that's to me that's the biggest kind of disappointment with all this, and not just the fact that sort of world records will be smashed, and people that set them before, they won't be equivalent. I know it happens in every sport. You look at what tennis rackets people used to use, and all sorts of things. But I just think it was such a sudden big step change that it's just really a shame for the people that have set these records before, and I think it's going to. Well, it already is filtering down to the clubs as well. Your local running clubs, all these records that were set 10 years ago are going to start to get smashed.
Yep.
It just feels a little bit unfair, but maybe I'm just an old fuddy-duddy who.
No, I'll be honest. I've kind of like, am I a bit like that as well? And like I said right at the start of this, I'm all for innovation. I love the fact that technology just around the clothing, around the running watches, whatever it may be, I love that it just keeps progressing. I think I love the fact that things just to keep improving.
Yeah.
But actually, when it benefits someone more than what natural running training and racing would do to you, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me, and I'm not going to say I'm completely against it, because I'm not. I think that actually it's gone too far now for me to be totally against it, if that makes sense. It wouldn't make a difference. But it can't go any further for me. But
no. And the other thing is, I think it's just for your own kind of personal benchmarking as well. I had quite a long time out with injury, and the last time I was hitting my sort of PB times was 2017. I'd like to get back close to that, but I'm not going to be wearing the same shoes, so I'll never really know if I've got back to that level, unless I go and race in my old racing flats again. But as I said, because I think these carbon shoes are faster, I probably won't do that. So, but that's a personal choice, isn't it? Everyone's got a choice.
No, absolutely. And I think with this, I mean, this is something where we're probably going to have more episodes on this, because I think, look, we've really improvised this one. Obviously, if Matt would have been on here, he'd had his own views, and I think, I'm not saying, I'm not speaking for him, but I think he was generally on the fence, but he was more pro him, if that makes sense. So it'd have been interesting to have him on here, but also I know that there's a lot of people with so many different opinions. So look, I think, I want to roll this episode through to more episodes. And like I said, I want this shared the hell out of. I want people to give opinions. I'm certainly going to be asking Emma on the takeover episode just to see what she thinks about it. So not my luck, she's probably got a pair of them Adidas. No, my luck. So look, we'll see. Look, I'll see what she thinks about it. But no, we need some real more airtime on this, I believe. I think there's a lot more that we can get out of it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll share the hell out of it and we'll go from there. But yeah, fantastic. I mean, what are your plans for next week?
Well, the weather's going to stay a bit mixed and rainy, so I don't know. I just, apart from this race, running wise is going to be just easy, just sort of pre-race prep and do a bit of cycling. And that's about it, really. I think when's the next Diamond League? That's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be coming up. There's so much coming up at the minute. I find it hard to keep a track of, but I do keep a list upstairs. So be looking at that. We've got the British champs. Obviously, the US trials are still ongoing, I believe. So I mean, that could be a championships in itself, couldn't it? Like a global championships itself. But I think there's going to be a lot to review next week, so that'll be interesting to look at. But no,
we haven't even talked about the football at all.
Oh, what about the football? Oh no, I mean, look, me and Matt are massive football fans. I'm not, I don't think you're the biggest football fan, are you?
Do you know what? The other night I was trying to work out how I could watch the US athletics Olympic trials, and I was scanning through the internet trying to find a site, and then I suddenly realised it was Scotland v England. So
really?
which I didn't watch. So that kind of shows you where the sport that I'm into more than the other.
No, exactly. I mean, look, for me, it's athletics all the way. But look, I've always been a football fan. I love football as well. So look, I mean, in a way, I'm similar because I do like to watch athletics. I choose that all the time. But yeah, absolutely. But no, I think for me, I'm just going to try and get back into running next week because obviously still feeling a bit chesty, but so I've got to be careful. But I'm going to try and get a run in on Tuesday and progress from there.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm going to plan a few races. I think I've got one planned for August and September. I haven't actually got one planned in for July, so I've got to get that one in.
Okay. What's the August one?
August one is, I believe it's a run through Lee Valley. I think it's at Lee Valley, if I'm not mistaken. I've probably got that completely wrong. You've put me on the spot there. And then obviously, I think in September is the home 10K race, so Bovingdon 10K. Yeah. So I'll be doing that, and hopefully I'm in some sort of shape to compete for it. See if I can get there again. But yeah, I mean, and then July, I'll see what springs up on the calendar. I'll pick something. Either a 10K or a 10 miler or something like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Nice. Well, we'll leave it there. And like I said, we'll be sharing this episode out, but also I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into the Emma Step 2 episode that's coming up as well. So I'd like a lot of feedback on this and also the questions for Emma. So please bring them. Please bring it all to us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks a lot for joining me, Graham. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. All the best.
All right, cheers. Thank you.